Hello everyone. I recently uploaded two videos on chart matching. One was about synastry and the other was about using the lunar calendar to explain how well your relationship will be or how your relationship will progress. Someone told me that such information is found in bits and pieces and no one can use it in a productive way. If you provide information from one structure, then why can't you properly tell us how chart matching is done? So, starting today, I will make videos specifically focusing on chart matching. In this, it will be explained how many types of marriages there are and whether we should directly jump to chart matching or what other factors we should consider first. Types of marriages. Check chart quality. Let's talk about how many types of marriages, and we must check the quality of the chart before horoscope matching. If it's our client or our proposal, we need to see the depth the chart itself has, meaning whether it is our client or our proposal. For the proposal we have for our client, we definitely need to see how much depth the chart itself has. There are many factors that can affect chart matching, even if it's not going well. If the chart is weak, inform the client. Weak chart, marriage prospects limited. Consider remedies. In that, if unfavorable, inform the client. Don't expect much change in marriage behavior or remedies. If the chart is good, advise waiting for a good proposal. That you should not expect too much for marriage, behavior, or how you can bring changes through remedies. But if our client's chart quality is very good, then we should advise them to wait for a good proposal. After this, everyone knows about Kuta. The Arsh Kuta, which is the North Indian method, we will discuss in detail. Even South Indian Kuta. All the Kuta are not equally important. Which Kuta is more relevant for today? In fact, it depends on what kind of work you do, what your caste is, your profession, and what work you do. Based on that, which kuta becomes more important for you. Each kuta has its own riders and antidotes. There can be a kuta that nullifies the flaws of another kuta, and there can be a kuta that intensifies the flaws of another kuta. We will talk about all of them. We all know that when we look at marriage, what role does D9 play? How are the combinations of D1 and D9 analyzed in marriage? How horoscope matching is done in all the three branches of Narikepi and Germany. It might happen. Using Ashtakut, the quality of the chart seems fine to me, but with other methods, it wasn't as good. Everything seems fine to me from the chart, but it didn't turn out as good with other methods or any particular method. So all the tools we have, all the branches, they act like a support system. If that support system is also telling us that it's not right, if something seems off here, you should accept that there is something wrong. But if multiple factors indicate that the marriage will go well, then don't give too much. Wait to just one method, because confusion arises when we practically apply it to the chart. Then the Manglik Dosh is the most interesting, based on which many love marriages don't happen or good proposals are rejected. So, what exactly is Manglik Dosh? What are the riders and antidotes in this Manglik Dosh? When should you ignore Manglik Dosh, or when will it not have any impact? Marriages often result from phases influenced by both partners' dasha. The interaction and transit determine if it's a bad phase. Dasha Sandhi, if unfavorable, reflects poorly. Mindset affects family life. Dasha and Dasha Sandhi impact marriage quality. It's important to see how they sit with each other. And we will also talk about the transit, whether it's just a bad phase, a bad dasha, or what it is. The dasha sandhi is a transactional phase. And if it's not good, then that reflection is not so good. What is going on in your mind? You also show it in your family. And it influences your family life or those around you. So, again, how much do dasha and dasha sandhi play a good or bad role in your marriage. How is chart matching done with Ashtak Varga? I've already explained the Tithi in the Panchang, so please do watch that video. Now, let's talk about how many types of marriages there are. There are 8 types of marriages. Marriage is influenced by the seventh house, its lord, and the significator. From these, we need to commonly find out which planet has the strongest and most repetitive influence, as that defines the kind of marriage we have or our behavior towards marriage. If that planet continuously influences our seventh house, then that planet shapes the destiny and behavior of your marriage. First, we have Brahma marriage, which is given by Jupiter. Jupiter is a responsible planet, meaning that if Jupiter is in a relationship, the thought that will come to your mind is that I need to be separate first, because marriage is all about responsibility and creating a linear path. When you think about Linus, the concepts of maturity and family responsibility will come to your mind whenever marriage is mentioned. I am not saying that such people will not have any affair, or they are very straightforward and saying blah, 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 means that when the time comes to marriage, the first thing that will come to their mind is marriage responsibility. So it is possible that they run away from there. They want to settle down before marriage. Then there's the Devya marriage, which is given to us by the sun. What happens here is that they want to show it to the world. So here, what will society say? What are the social expectations? If a girl is 22, 24, or 25 years old, and a boy is 27 or 28, there is a social expectation that you should get married. If you haven't married yet, they sometimes feel pressured to marry, or they think this is the right time to fulfill my social, emotional, and sexual demands, so I need to get married. In this, social influence and maturity come into play, like Jupiter, because both are mature and responsible planets. That's why we call it Devya marriage. Then comes the Arsh marriage, which is given to us by the moon. Now, what happens with the moon is that you want to get married to enhance your financial and social status, and there is often a hidden motive behind it because the moon signifies deceit and concealment. The main reason is social elevation and financial motivation. You might have seen in ancient times that kings would marry their daughters to stronger kings because they needed to protect their territory or grow for whatever reason. There is a motive behind it in their minds, or they would marry off their daughters to a sage or a guru. So that's the reason behind the Arsh marriage that the moon gives us. Now, the Prajapati marriage is given to us by Venus. A marriage influenced by Venus is the best. Proposals come directly, and family, community, and people around play a significant role. They might say, oh, that girl in that house is really nice. You should check her out. So the community supports you, and from within, you also feel like getting married. So the Prajapati marriage is influenced by Venus, Darva, Mercury, attraction, Asur, Saturn, social gap. Mercury says that we need mutual attraction, sexual expectations from each other should be fulfilled. Parents, society, and all that are in the burden. Even if they don't agree, there is no issue. It's a simple matter. Even if the husband agrees, what can the Qazi do? So Mercury is giving us Gandharva marriage. Then comes the Asur marriage, which is given by Saturn. Everyone knows that Saturn is said to create ups and downs in social and financial status. This means that one person might come from a very wealthy family while the other might not be as well off. There could be differences in height, looks, and thinking. The unconventional marriages that arise from status differences are what Saturn gives us, which we call Asur marriage. Then comes the Rakshas marriage, which is given by Mars, where there is pressure to get married, or one is very passionate and rebellious about getting married. They might say, I will marry only this way, or they rebel against marriage altogether, saying, I don't want to marry at all. This is done forcefully. And when I hear about forced marriages, Hinaji from Bihar comes to my mind because forced marriages happen in Bihar. So it could be that in those boys' charts, there is an influence of Mars in the seventh house, which is why things are not going well for you. Then comes the Pishak marriage, which is given by Rahu. Here, we see fraudulent relationships before marriage, unconventional marriages that are outside societal norms or religion, and there can also be deception involved. This is called Pishach marriage. So, this is how the planets provide us with the type of marriage, the kind of circumstances, or the people we encounter when we think about marriage. So, you shouldn't go straight to chart matching at all. There is one type of crime that anyone can commit. First, check the horoscope of the proposal you received, focusing on age. Examine the ascendant, the moon, and the eighth lord. Then, check the seventh house and the strength of Venus and Mars. Venus and Mars are crucial. In marriage, Venus represents love, Mars shows sexual desires, and Jupiter signifies responsibility. A husband might be loving but not responsible, or responsible but controlling. Venus, Mars is important. Mars is love, desires, and Jupiter is responsibilities. Maybe someone has a loving husband, but he is not responsible. Or it could be that someone has a responsible husband, but he is controlling. What do you want from marriage? Check planet strength in chart. It may be that someone's husband is very loving, but he is not responsible. It may be that someone's husband is very responsible, but he makes a mess of his life with 4 people. So, what exactly do you want from marriage? You need to look at how strong the PE planets are in that person's chart. Marriage is for children. Check fifth house planets. Assess character via ascendant. Check moon's position. Ensure good yogas. Assess character by ascendant and moon. Check moon's position and difference before matching. Ensure good chart quality. Check the moon's position and its difference from the person's thoughts before matching. Ensure good yogas are forming and the chart's quality is high. Avoid bad periods, especially after 45 years of marriage, as negative yogas can make a good chart match unbeneficial. Chart is good with no bad periods or negative yogas after 45 years. Points above the minimum are fine. It's not the case that after 45 years of marriage, there will be very bad periods or negative yogas activating, as that would make even a good chart matching not beneficial for you. So even if the points are matching less, like if we need a minimum of 10 and we are getting 16 or 17, that's acceptable. But the other actresses look perfectly fine. Because we also need to see that nowadays, before looking at the chart, you should first check if the boy and girl like each other, then if their families approve, and then all the other things. They meet for about 36 months before things lead to marriage. Then, if you say that in the chart, instead of getting 18 points, you're only getting 16, and they really want to get married. So, you should always check how well Jupiter and Venus are placed in the other person's chart because they enhance the nature and also bring stability to the marriage. We eliminate the bad times. If the moon is good in terms of responsibility, if the moon is in a constellation that is good for marriage, then it works like a protective shield. Even if the points don't match, and the seventh house always safeguards the marriage, you should always prioritize the horoscope over your point matching as the first thing. Now, look at which planets are weak in your horoscope. If I have a very weak sun, should I be looking for a strong sun in the other person's chart? If my moon is weak or afflicted, is the other person compensating for that? Marriage is all about compensation and complementing each other. Now, we will talk about all the kutas. Today, I will give you a code example. We will discuss the other kutas in detail, what each kuta means and how to interpret them. Today, we will talk about the Varna. The first kuta in the Ashkuta is the Varna, and I will discuss it using the South Indian method. This is given 1 mark. How is it that your moon is in which zodiac sign? If it is in a water sign, are the 4, 8, and 12 considered Brahmin signs? 159 are Kshatriyas, 2, 6, 10 Vaishyas, and 3, 7, 11 Shudra signs. The Brahmin sign is considered superior to the Kshatriya is superior to the Vaishya, and the Vaishya is superior to the Shudra. In the past, the rule was that the boy was given more dominance, that the male is the head of the family, or that his decision is final, and female post so as the husband is saying you should do it that way. Water sign, boys, moon gets, if a boy's moon is in water, he gets full kuta marks with any girl. The girl's moon should be lower varna than the boys. If a girl's moon is Brahmin and the boy's is Kshatriya, they won't get marks. The girl's moon must be lower varna than the boy's. She follows him. This means that if a girl's moon is in a Brahmin sign and the boy's moon is in a Kshatriya sign, then they won't get marks there. The point is that the girl follows the boy. Now, what is the reason for this? What is the reason giving marks to this? Our life is based on 4 pillars: dharma, artha, kama, and moksha. Moksha guides us to attain it. So, if moksha, which is such an important factor for us, tells us that the ultimate goal of any soul, of any spirit, is to attain moksha. So, you want to attain moksha? So, even after marriage, Kapil, when you go to the forest, you need to attain moksha. The signs, Brahmin, there are 4, 8, and 12 signs. She talks about letting go, not doing things, and moving towards God. If the boy is of Brahmin sign, he will influence the girl and ultimately bring her in this direction. But the modern society has shifted in our society where quality is emphasized. It's all about you do your own things, I do my own thing. In such a scenario, where can we say something like that? It could be that the girl has a Brahmin sign and the boy has a Shudra or Vaishya sign. But they really complement each other. You won't get marks in the Kuta because the girl's emotional attitude is supported by her Vaishya signs, which provide her with balance. There is no need to be so emotional. There is no need to get stressed or grudge such small things. Let's be practical. Let's speak out of feelings. So if they are complementing each other, always reevaluate on what basis you are giving marks. But the point is, marks are given when the boy has a Brahmin or Kshatriya zodiac, and the girl's zodiac is of a lower category. Similarly, we will discuss all the other kutas. I hope you must be enjoying these classes, this series, and you will get to learn something new. Not new, you will get to learn. So, the reason behind this, what is the logic behind this? How much importance should be given to whom? And how is a good chart matching done? You will definitely understand that. Thank you so much.